Hello, women of the Channel Leadership Network. I'm Jackie Rives, your community leader, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. This week, we are celebrating Sara Gormally, Field Sales Director for D&H. Welcome, Sara. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, Jackie. I'm super excited to be here today.
Awesome. Well, let's dive into the getting to know you part of the interview. So where do you live and where did you grow up, if that's different?
So just real quick, I say I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, but I actually live in Covington, Kentucky. So I say Cincinnati just to generalize, because when I start saying Kentucky, people start questioning if I've got electricity.
Oh, geez.
So, could be my fun fact.
Well, with that, what is a little known fact about you?
Well, the pandemic has been a really life-changing time for me. And I have decided this year to embark on solo travel, to step out of my comfort zone. I travel all the time for my job by myself, but not really for pleasure. And so I just came back from Hawaii and I'm headed to Thailand this fall doing solo travel.
I love that. That is so awesome. Yes.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
Right?
yes. I love it. You get to do it.
My girlfriends push me out of my comfort zone.
I love it. And I love Hawaii. So yes, amazing. Okay, well, let's dive into more of the professional questions. So how do you differentiate yourself?
I think it's a couple things that when I look at how I show up at work, and really 20 years ago, there was a Sara at work and a Sara at home, and I've really integrated those two aspects of myself, and really to show up authentically as myself, as a leader and as a woman in the workplace, and just really stepping in and meeting people where they are. I think that's been the biggest change in my leadership, and really putting myself out there differently, is that I really step into the folks around me, the team around me daily, and just meet them where they are.
I love that 100%. I mean, it's so much better to build relationships with who you are, and you're also letting people know it's okay to come as they are as well. So I love that.
It's super important to, I think, as a leader, to show that we make mistakes, we fail, we are human, and really I love when women ask me to mentor them, because I'm like, let me get out my Rolodex of mistakes. It's a mile long. I'm sure somewhere along the way I've experienced something similar that I can help them through. And so I think just being really myself at work has been really a key differentiator for me.
I love that about you, Sara. Thank you. Have you ever questioned your abilities and qualifications? And if so, how did you overcome that challenge?
I find, and I've questioned that often through my time. I'm a couple decades in distribution, and in various roles in that time. I find this is a common theme with the women that I work with on a mentoring basis too, is we tend to, the self-doubt creeps in, and I can call it imposter syndrome, what different terms that are out there. And really what I have found out, I really just used to think it was me that doubted or struggled or questioned. And when I started working with other women, I found out it's a very common thread, as women in the workforce that we deal with. And really we have the capabilities. And that's what I had to really step into with myself. I was fully capable to be in the job I was in at that moment. Did I have to learn things and experience things and grow? Absolutely. But really foundationally, I had all the pieces there. And so that's something I really work with other women, is just helping them see they are more than capable and more than enough. And a lot of times just need to step through the fear. There's usually fear underneath there somewhere. And if we can step through the fear and realize it's not as bad as we think, it's a great place. at D&H, we really embrace the mentor-mentee mentality. And I also do not turn away younger women or men that come to me in the organization and want to work with me. I've been given so much by Dan and Michael Schwab. I want to give back to those around me.
Sara, you're speaking my love language.
I
Yeah, I love it. And I know that's definitely going to resonate with many of the listeners that we have watching today. So, what are some patterns you've noticed over the years about women at work and the things that they could be doing better to advance their careers?
think we have to grow through that journey, and it is a journey of having confidence. I really had to, as I progressed in my career and was moved into leadership roles, it's almost like there's that period of kind of trying to find your footing and how do you gain that confidence in doing a job you haven't done before. So I think that comes with experience and time, but it also, would tell you, is my success as well has been finding other women to model. Mm-hmm. And to look at who's done what I'm trying to do, right? Who has already done, is further along the journey than me, that's done it, that I can reach out to and connect with and ask questions and talk to. And I think if you find women across the board, whether it's within our vendor community, our distribution community, partner community, the women are more than willing to spend time with the younger women to help them along and give advice or suggestions as they want them.
I'm so glad that you said that. So for those of you listening, yes, there's fear. I mean, for me in my earlier career, I would definitely be like nervous or fear asking a question. And I don't even know why that is. So I'm glad that you're saying that, because you are putting it out there, welcoming, ask the question. And I mean, shameless plug, we have the Women of the Channel Leadership Network, where there's fabulous leaders like Sara in there ready to help you through your journey and answer those questions.
We are. And I think it's just that it's, the phone or the keyboard feels like 1,000-pound weight. And you think, why would that person want to answer the question, talk with me, work with me? We want to. We absolutely want to, and we've got some of the battle scars and some of the experiences, and I think that's our gift. For me, my gift back, right? I they tell me too much is given, much is expected, and it is. I truly try to embrace that, embody that every day.
I can tell, and we've only been talking a short time, so yes, amazing. What has driven you to continue to grow in your leadership roles?
I just won't quit. I always tell myself, you can't lose if you don't quit. I'm driven. I'm probably one of the most driven leaders on Peter DeMarco's commercial sales team. And also I've raised a Division I volleyball player who my daughter has taught me a ton about, drive, desire, determination, overcoming adversity. And that's really kind of inspired me. But I would tell you, I think just looking at all the resources around you. And for me, in the last year, I really reached out and started working with an executive coach outside of D&H, outside of my network. I made that investment to myself, and it's paid huge dividends for me. I have a great coach that has really helped give me a point of view that I didn't have, to help, develop areas that I wasn't as strong as, and that I needed that help. And I really, it's been such a great process. But I think just really realizing there's so many resources around us at our fingertips, whether it's podcasts on the internet, articles, events, working with other women in the channel. There's just, today, this wasn't, relevant 20 years ago. There were books. We just have so much at our fingertips to help us be the best leader. And I really try to capitalize on every opportunity I can get.
You are so right about that. I can't even argue with that. I love that you brought up your daughter, because I like to bring up mine, in that, they may be young. I mean, she's a sophomore at in college, but she is a wealth of knowledge. So, even learning from the younger generations, I mean, the things that she teaches me kind of makes me go, huh,
They do.
why I
They
was
teach
thinking that way.
they
Yeah.
teach more than they realize. They really do. And I tell her that all the time. I'm like, I admire you. I have watched you live. It was her dream to play beach volleyball in college, and she's living that dream right now. And it came with blood, sweat, and tears, right?
Yeah.
And setbacks and no's, and it was all really as a mom helping her through that process. And I became a better person through it too. So they do teach us a lot.
Yeah, that's an amazing experience for her too, on life. Like my oldest daughter ran track in high school or in college. So yes,
Yes, so
I know. I know.
you know.
All right. Well, I think we have time for one more. So who are some individuals beyond who you've already mentioned who inspired you in your journey?
I would tell you the list is long. The list is long. That just tells you I'm old.
Oh.
But I would tell you at the top of my list are Dan and Michael Schwab, our co-presidents at D&H, and Peter DeMarco, who's my senior vice president of commercial sales, instrumental in my development and just giving me inspiration on how to show up as a great leader every day. And they push me, they support me, they make me better. I also would tell you Kelly Walsh, who is our chief people officer at D&H, and Shannon Schultes, who's our executive director of marketing. I have just a huge team around me of executives that that have my best interest, and just by watching them, it's inspiring. When you really understand the D&H story and what the Schwabs have done, it's just amazing. And I feel lucky to go to work every day. And I say that all the time. I tell Dan and Michael all the time, I wish I would have gotten here sooner. And what a gift they've given me and what they've bestowed upon me and trusting me to lead, part of their organization is huge.
Well, it's clear how much they inspire you. You can see it on your face. It doesn't even sound like a job. It's just passion. And it seems like you really enjoy working with the team. And clearly you love being a leader and pouring into others. And, on all their behalf, I thank you for that. That's true leadership, and it's truly amazing. I'd also like to just give a shout out to D&H in general for being one of our sponsors with the Women in the Channel Leadership Network. Like, we're so grateful. Without sponsors like D&H, we wouldn't be able to do interviews and discussions like this. So thank you.
Well, and I'll tell you my secret on inspiration, how I've come to this point today, and I'll leave you with this. Everyone's got their own playbook, right? And so I don't try to copy other people's playbooks, but I might tear a page out of their playbook and make it into my own playbook. And so really, when I look at me, who I am as a leader, it's a culmination of a lot of people that I might have ripped a page out here and a page out there and mesh that into who Sara Gormally is as a leader. And it's really, it's been a great way to develop my leadership.
Sara, that is amazing advice. And again, I can't thank you enough for giving us your time, sharing a little of your story with all of us, and just giving us some great, great advice. So thank you again for being here today. All right, ladies, please comment. Thanks, Sarah. Share your tips, ask your questions. She invited you to do so. So take
I
her
did.
up on it. So with that, happy Wednesday and have a great week.